Welcome to the Barker Podcast Collection.
Welcome to the Not Watching Podcast. My name's Rob Howard, and this week I'm joined by
Ian Bruce,
John Marson,
and Marcus Hurley.
You can contact us on email at notwatchingpodcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at notwatchingpod. Looks like Twin Peaks is back on
with Lynch
after all the fuss. Yeah, there was. Basically, I think Showtime got their checkbook out. And David Lynch tweeted, "Dear Twitter friends, the rumours are not what they seem. It is happening again. Twin Peaks returns on Showtime." And I think it was originally going to be 9 episodes. They're actually doing more than that now. I forget the exact number. Oh, it's going to be... No, I can't remember the exact number, but it's a significant amount more. So they've realised that they need to pay for this, basically. Lynch said that he wanted enough money to do the script the way he wants it. I don't know what that means, really, but ultimately he wanted more money. Showtime have paid out, so it's back on. I just think they would have looked like proper cunts if they just let that slide, really, after the overwhelming reception that news got. There would have been a lot of unhappy people. So that's all good. The new X-Files will begin on January the 24th, 2016. It will be doing, as we previously said, they're doing a 6-episode run, and
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I got to say, Gillian Anderson, she's getting more and more fantastic. She's just...
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, just the way she just can drop from the American to the British accent is insane.
Well, she lives over here, doesn't she? I think.
Yeah.
Didn't she? She's married an English guy, isn't she? Did she marry an English guy?
Yeah, I think so.
I think she's from here or something, but she grew up over there, or I don't know. But yeah, she definitely pulls off a British accent pretty well. I think that's normally how she talks, to be honest. I don't know. I've seen her in some interviews, and she's doing Brit, but
yeah, she says she's almost kind of by accent lingual or something weird like that. She coined a random phrase because she couldn't actually describe it. She said she could literally just switch from one to the other depending on who she's talking to.
Bi-dialectual.
Cool.
Which is nice. Bi-dialect.
Maybe. So
she's hot.
So 24. While we're talking about Fox, there's quite a few Fox stories here. But the next Fox story is that they're apparently developing 24 without Kiefer, or without Kiefer as a central character, and he might show up sort of now and then. But they're saying that they're going to try and spin it out as because I think they just want 24 back, but Kiefer doesn't want to do it as much. So how do we think
Probably
24
better.
might work out with different people in it?
Yeah.
I guess it depends.
He was looking
And when
a
he's
bit
doing all his
tired,
fast
though,
breathing,
in the
it's
London
just like a
He was reading the
out of breath
script.
granddad role.
Yeah.
I think it's because he was too busy filming all the Sky little eye catch bits and pieces from Sky TV. You know.
I imagine that might have been getting him down, certainly. I guess it depends who they cast. If they can get someone decent in it.
James Corden.
Now, Rob, we can't have Statham and everything.
No.
Statham. That would
I'm
just be
sorry.
ridiculous.
What, Jason Statham and James Corden? It'd just be like a bigger
Jake
budget than Wrong
Gyllenhaal.
Man's, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't know. Someone who's been in some decent TV. I don't know.
Well, I do hear that Hugh Jackman's not going to be doing much in a few years' time.
He's not a young man, though, is he?
No.
I imagine he'll be going off to do more musicals, not get like mutilated like Jack Bauer. But yeah, another Fox show that they're talking about reviving is Prison Break.
What are they? It's the first season, right? Or are they going to do all of them and ruin it after the?
But it's
I think they want
and
to just
truly run
pick
its
it up
course.
and continue it. Oh, absolutely! I completely agree. I find this hilarious.
Did they set an episode in Britain? Did they do a series? Did they do a series set in British prisons?
No, they didn't. They didn't.
Because I'm thinking they're following 24.
Yeah, they didn't do underwater prison yet, or space prison, or prison in the clouds,
or the prison within.
There's plenty of other prisons they could do. They. I mean, I didn't watch the very last season of Prison Break. I watched because the first season was them getting out of the prison, which was very good and very enjoyable, I thought. The second one was them on the run, which was basically where they were like, shit, we don't know what to do now. Then they got locked up again in season 3, spoiler alert.
Bolivian,
and then
Brazilian,
I think by the end of that season, it became clear that he was becoming some sort of superhero that breaks out of prisons. For various convoluted reasons, and I was out.
But the only reason they went back to prison was because everybody said with the second season, it's shit when they're not in prison. So they then put them in prison for the third season. So it was all a bit crap.
So yeah, Prison Break bad. I mean, I thought it was awful anyway, so when I read this I was just like, oh god. But I just won't be watching it.
Okay.
Simple as. And finally, Agent Carter. Fox have renewed this for season 2, which is good. I think is it Fox? I think it might be ABC actually. Come to think of it, but that's where I got confused. Is that it's finally coming to the UK on Fox, season 1 of Agent Carter, which still hasn't aired, which is ridiculous. Considering the amount of Marvel love in this country, it's ridiculous. So. Yeah, I think it's coming to Fox in July. It's July. Not sure what exact date it is, but yeah, I definitely recommend that if you want some superhero stuff that's connected to the Marvel universe in an interesting way. That's kind of in a period setting, and yeah, it's pretty decent. The CW announced Legends of Tomorrow. Have you seen this? Are you excited for this, Marcus, as a fan of Arrow and stuff? This is the...
I'm not a fan of... I gotta say, I'm not a fan of Arrow. I'm actually enjoying Flash more than Arrow. Arrow, it seems, existed only to create the Flash TV series, which is light-hearted fun. And Arrow is just kind of like, seems like the spin-off now. And Legends of Tomorrow is another spin-off. I really couldn't care too much about these series. I just watched them after, say, like a month. And then I catch up and see what's happening. Kind of like a Hollyoaks omnibus.
Yeah, there's certainly some Hollyoaks
that's pretty much how I'm treating them now.
Be drawn.
You know, it's a bit of fun, whatever. I'm not taking it any kind of serious whatsoever, but as a comic book fan, I'm just curious as to what they do. Every now and then they surprise me. Like in Flash, they actually had a bloke go nuclear and actually explode. And I went, oh, that's pretty. You know, full of mushroom cloud and everything, and he's out running it. And I'm like, that's pretty nifty for a TV series. So they do have little moments where you kind of go, that's nice. Unfortunately, it's bogged down in everything else. So, yeah, if you're not watching it out of curiosity, I wouldn't say bother. But I might give it a little while, only because I'm trapped.
So does
me, please kill me.
Does the Flash show up? Does the Flash still show up in Arrow, or is he just doing his own show now?
They do. Felicity Smoke, actually, who's smoking hot in Arrow, actually kind of crosses over, and occasionally some of the characters do as well. So
that's like a lot of like that. It's like the Buffy Angel thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is pretty much. That's what they're doing. Yeah. And it does feel a lot like Buffy Angel. Yeah. In fact, that's exactly what it is. It's the new Buffy and Angel.
Yeah. Well, this is like, Legends of Tomorrow is like the super team up Avengers sort of spin-off, if you could call it that. There's some hilarious casting in this. So you've got Wentworth Miller and Dominic Purcell, those of Prison Break fame.
Yeah, they've been in that. They've actually been in The Flash.
Yeah, they're playing Captain.
Was it Captain Cold?
Yeah, Captain Cold and Heatwave, respectively. It's almost like yin and yang. Yeah. But the best one, the absolute best bit of casting in this, is Brandon Routh, who used to be Superman, and it's like his career trajectory is like he's playing the Atom. So it's like, and he looks so shit. He's like a Power Ranger. It's ridiculous. It's just,
He's actually already in Arrow as the Atom.
Oh, is he?
So they've introduced all of these characters. All they've done is basically say, we've put too many characters in these shows, let's give them a show of their own.
Let's spin it out.
That's what they've done.
Yeah.
I laughed my head off when he turned up. I went, can't he stay away from DC?
It's just, I thought that was against the rules. Although I suppose Ryan Reynolds has already broke that law, hasn't he, of being...
Deadpool and...
Green Lantern.
Chris, Captain America has as well, because he was the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four movie.
Yes, you're correct. You are absolutely right there, yeah. So, darn it. But then I suppose with so many superhero films, it's just a kind of a hazard of the job, really, isn't it? If you want to make any big movies, it's like you might...
But that was the thing. I remember Brandon Routh actually being a bit dismayed. Kind of like he's actually on the commentary disc for Scott Pilgrim. You know, when he played the super vegan with like psychic powers.
Right.
When they took away his vegan powers, in the commentary thing, he actually goes, they did have to make the grey green, didn't they? And you kind of think, okay, he's gone from that, and he's now playing a bloke who's rich, flying around, basically a poor man's Iron Man.
Yeah. Oh, well. We can get out of dirty network territory now with some more positive news. They're doing a second season of Daredevil for next year, which I think we all saw coming. Don't know how that's going to fit in with all the other Marvel films they're doing, but there are going to be more. I think the next one is Jessica Jones, I think. But anyway, so yeah, more of that, please. That's cool. I think we all enjoyed Daredevil. Did we all watch it?
Yes.
I haven't had a chance to see it yet. But
we all got to the end.
I haven't watched it.
Okay, we won't spoil it.
But I will do. You know, well, I'm busy.
It's worth.
I go to work in Mordor. You know, if I come back alive every day, it's a bonus.
No, it's worth a look. Interestingly, a friend of mine was complaining about the amount of violence in Daredevil, which I found surprising. But
that was a bit.
It's weird that I think they went in expecting, you know, something like Arrow, maybe.
Arrow's violent.
Arrow is violent, but it cuts away, whereas
violent,
Daredevil doesn't. Yeah, it's implied.
I don't know. There's people being run through with blood and everything.
Yeah, but
it has actually kind of upped its violence a bit. I think otherwise it will just get canned.
It just made me sort of think with Daredevil that I must be really desensitized then, because the fact that, you know, there's the sort of it's brutal. It's really like relentlessly brutal, this show.
Yeah, that's pretty hardcore.
And some of the stuff that
awesome.
Yeah, and head-butting spikes and things.
Yeah. Damn it. Don't know what I'm going to watch now after this podcast. It's just...
Oops, sorry, Mark.
I might have to flip a coin. I might have to roll a 6-sided dice. I don't even have one.
Yeah, we kind of enable ourselves by doing this. It's a bit of a... Yeah. But yeah, anyway, sorry, let's move this along. More Netflix news. They're doing a Christmas special called A Very Murray Christmas, as in Bill Murray. And a lot of other cool people. George Clooney, Amy Poehler from Parks and Rec, Michael Cera, Chris Rock, Rashida Jones, Miley Cyrus, I don't know about that. But anyway, Sophia Coppola is directing it, so they'll be coming back, the team that brought you Lost in Translation. And
do you think it's going to be like a follow-up to Scrooge?
I think it might riff off that a bit, but it's probably, I think it's going to be like an hour-long one-off, and it just seems like it's just going to be probably the best bit of Christmas TV that's going to happen this year, I think. Short of Sherlock coming back or whatever. Yeah, so I just thought that was really cool. There was also some sort of boring financial news saying that this was last month, actually April. God, this is old. But yeah, they were saying how Netflix is now bigger than CBS, which I found interesting. Looks like they are sort of trying to basically take over traditional TV, which is cool. I think it's pretty obvious that's the way they've been going, as their range of content's been expanding. So yeah, that's a thing. And news of some renewals here. Powers has been renewed by Sony, so we're getting a second season of that. Obviously that did quite well. You going to be going back for more, Ian, or?
No, I haven't finished the first one yet.
No?
No.
Not much I think desire to, or just...
There's other things I want to watch and do, so it's not grabbing me like Game of Thrones or Daredevil did. So
Yeah. Fair enough.
It's going to become your arrow, that's what it is.
Ball and chain. Yeah. And it looks like we're getting 2 more series of Red Dwarf.
Yeah. Why? Stop, enough already. Jesus.
I thought the last one was all right.
They,
to be honest,
they can do voiceovers to get their money. They don't need to keep going back to that. It's becoming Last of the Summer Wine or Only Fools and Horses. It's just enough now, guys. Really.
And I've got to do the segue then. Talking of voiceovers, Harry Shearer has quit The Simpsons. I thought this was hilarious. Apparently, he was already only phoning it in and getting paid like a fuck ton of money for it. But he does so many of the like really important voices, like Mr. Burns, Principal Skinner, Flanders, all that, and literally he was just phoning it in, getting paid millions, and I think he just couldn't be arsed. Like he just couldn't be bothered to just phone it in anymore. I think they're up to like season 28 of The Simpsons now. So yeah, I don't blame him. It's like, you know, he's quite an old guy. He doesn't need to do it anymore. He's got so much money. There's absolutely nothing they could do to make him do it. You know, it was already like they were just literally just driving a truck up to his door every year and pouring money over him to just do like 4 voices. And I just find it hilarious that, you know, they must keep making The Simpsons, you know, for nearly fucking 30 years. Jesus. Is it any good anymore? I don't even know, like, the last time I watched The Simpsons. Like, I think it's something I just grew out of, you know? No one.
No
one.
Tumbleweed, sorry, mate.
Everyone's no opinion. Fair enough.
We don't know.
And the last thing, might as well end with a bang. They're doing a Limitless TV show based on the film that Bradley Cooper was in, and he's going to be in it. Yeah, he's going to be in it a bit. And there was a trailer for it on CBS's YouTube. I think it's CBS. Yes, it's CBS. And
cool. We get to see
it's
her
got
again.
Deb from Dexter. She's in it. So that's what she does. That's what she's doing next. And yes, that's going to be a thing, I guess, later in the year. But I don't know about the setup. I think I'm not sure on the main character. I don't know what the idea is here, that they're just going to sort of look at a different aspect of how mind expanding you can make yourself.
Is it going to be like, you know, from Dusk Till Dawn one where they stretch it out and expand a bit more on it, which worked quite well for the first few episodes. Then it just felt like it was slogging along.
Yeah. It's just another one of those movie to TV adaptations that I don't know it really can do.
Speaking of which, has anyone seen the Minority Report TV show trailer?
No.
It's worth having a quick YouTube for it. If I remember it correctly, they've taken the central premise and it's either before or after the movie.
I think it's after.
I think it is after. But it didn't look too bad. I didn't realise what it was until halfway through.
It's about the precogs, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that was the setup. So it's after the machine's dismantled, but they're still like hooked into it or something, or
I think they can still give the information away, and there's a cop who uses one of them for information or something.
Could be interesting.
IMDb kind of gives a basic premise.
It's Fox, isn't it? So it looks quite.
It's meant to be set 10 years after the end.
It looks quite slick, but like in the same way that Almost Human looked quite slick, and that wasn't really worth sort of continuing with, was it? I think
I watched a few of those.
I didn't even last it through the pilot for that one, to be honest. It got a bit procedural, didn't it, though?
Yeah.
Which I imagine this probably will be as well.
But they've got all that tech lying around, the shiny white cars and stuff. They have to use it for something. So.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it might be all right. But yeah, oh well, that's cool. Was that part of?
I think that was what
this hasn't been out.
The previews or something.
Yeah, they have the TCAs in America, I think, and this must have come out around the same time.
Right.
Cool. Right. Well, I think that's all the news we've got. This has been the Not Watching Podcast in partnership with notlistening.co.uk. You can contact us on email at notwatchingpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at notwatchingpod. You can find the show notes for this show at notlistening.co.uk. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, then please do give us a review. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for listening. See ya.
Bonne journée.